This is Atn Global News at 9 p.m. First, the headlines. Rivers Assembly commends Tinubu for revitalizing Port Harcourt refinery. Governor Okwebolo dissolves Edo Electoral Commission. Other Senate moves to ban use of foreign currencies. FG's electricity subsidies rise to 199.64 billion naira. Russian army claims another village in East Ukraine, and Modex suspended after field drug test. Rimas calm down, goes platinum in Norway. Play
From the lands across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries.
Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Super Eagles forward Ademola Lookman for winning the 2024 CAF Men's African Footballer of the Year award. He also commended Super Falcons goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie for being named the CAF Women's Goalkeeper of the Year and celebrated the Super Falcons for clinching the Women's National Team of the Year award. The honors were announced on Monday night at the Palais des Congrès in Marrakech, Morocco. In a statement released late Monday by presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga, President Tinubu joined millions of Nigerians in applauding the athletes for their achievements. He described them as worthy ambassadors who have showcased their talent and brought honor to the country on the continental and global issues. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program, Atlantic Global public affairs analyst Enefa Jojo said that the level of hunger in the country is more than 2 weeks free train ride.
We are very close to the ordinary people. We will not followed political development, promoted good governance in Rivers State and across the country. I want to say that our government should
presented by Committee Chairman Senator Abiru Adetukombo during Tuesday's plenary session. Senator Adetukombo, while presenting the sought to essentially consolidate various existing legislations regulating the conduct of insurance businesses in Nigeria. The lawmaker listed the legislations to include the Insurance Act 2003 and the Marine Insurance Act, Motor Vehicle Third Party Insurance Act, the National Insurance Corporation Act, and the Nigerian Reinsurance Corporation Act.
Worthy of to state that after the public hearing, the committee painstakingly analyzed the presentations made at the public hearing by some key stakeholders, and some of the summary will include that, on the whole, the inputs made on the proposed bill as recommended by the committee for the approval of the Senate will go a long way in providing a comprehensive legal framework for the regulation and supervision of all manner of insurance businesses in Nigeria in order to ensure that the industry is able to successfully compete on a global level and also improve international competitiveness of Nigeria's insurance industry.
We should go on with this. My amendment is that, in view of the fact that subsequent increase in the insurance capital base have been leading to the death of insurance company in Nigeria, and reflective on the insurance company, which is not even backed up by any law so far, should be retained, rather than going to 45 billion at the time.
The objective of the bill is to create a robust legal and regulatory framework for the insurance sector, enabling it to insurance sector in Nigeria. Bill seeking to prohibit the use of foreign currency in Nigeria has scaled first reading in the House of Senate. The bill, titled A Bill for an Act to Alter the Central Bank of Nigeria Act 2007, number 7, to prohibit the use of foreign currencies for remuneration and other related matters, was sponsored by the chairman of the Senate Committee on Reparations and Repatriation, Senator Ned Nwoko. Atn reports that the proposed legislation is aimed at ensuring all payments, including salaries and other transactions, are done using the local currency, Naira. According to Senator Woko, the widespread use of foreign currencies in the country's financial system undermines the value of the naira, which he said perpetuates economic challenges. The lawmaker described the use of the dollar, pound, sterling, and other foreign currencies for transactions in Nigeria as a colonial relic that continues to hinder Nigeria's economic independence. The bill contains key provisions aimed at transforming Nigeria's monetary framework, including prohibition of salaries and payments in foreign countries. All workers in Nigeria, including expatriates, would be paid in naira. Exclusive use of naira for exports, crude oil and other export demand, and increasing its value and related currency markets that encourage unethical practices like round-tripping by banks. Speaker of the House of Representatives, programs and budgets will impact the well-being of Nigerian youths as one of the major drivers of development. The Speaker stated this in Abuja while declaring opened a youth town hall on the 2025 budget. Abbas emphasized the need roles they are about to take. He, however, stated that young Nigerians should also be willing to take leadership responsibilities. While noting that the importance of the engagement, Speaker Abbas recalled that at the first youth town hall, he promised to institutionalize regular engagements with the youths. He said the gathering highlights the vital role of their voice in shaping the future of our nation. He urged all the stakeholders at the town hall to also discuss a critical subject that affects not just your future, but the very future of our nation: leadership recruitment. He noted that the responsibility of building the next generation of leaders must not be left to chance, adding that the political parties, as key institutions of democracy, have an urgent role to play in identifying, nurturing, and empowering young people to assume leadership positions. Recognizing the young people's incredible potential, Speaker Abbas recalled that the National Assembly enacted the Not Too Young to Run Act, which lowered the age requirement for effective offices. He said the landmark legislation opened up new opportunities for young Nigerians to actively participate in governance, enabling those with the vision, energy, and competence to step forward.
This town hall focuses on youth-based budgeting, which addresses the specific needs, challenges, and opportunities of young people. Youth-based budgeting ensures that resources are allocated in ways that positively impact the lives and futures of young individuals, such as funding for technology hubs, skills training programs, and mental health services. In countries where this model has been implemented, the outcomes have been impressive, leading and clearly about your demands, expectations, and aspirations for the 2025 budget. This is your chance to provide concrete input that will shape our deliberations. While we recognize the reality of resource constraints, prioritization is also essential. Furthermore, prioritization can only be effective when it is guided by the voices of those directly affected by government decisions. You, the youth, are the ones at the forefront of this particular subject matter.
Download the Glow Cafe app today. You see here, you get everything all in one. So if you love music, you love Glow Cafe with a music catalog of over 2 million tracks. And if live radio is your thing, say no more. Just hit play and enjoy on Glow Cafe. Welcome to total control, so you can recharge or buy bundle, borrow data, and credit sharing and gifting. You've got all that too. You also get extra value with our range of value-added services on the Glow Cafe app. Watch all the action with Glow Cafe's exclusive range of video. Glow Cafe's got it all. And when it comes to gaming, we ain't playing around with Africa's gaming collection.
And the best part, you get free activation bonus. So download the Glow Cafe app on Google Play or the App Store.
Glow Unlimited.
Speaker, House of Representatives Honorable Tajuddin Abbas has called for a paradigm shift in addressing the root causes of violence and insecurity in the country. Strategies as alternative to a military force, saying it is essential for fostering long-term peace and stability. Abbas noted that while the military operations are necessary, should not be sole approach to combating insecurity in the country. Drawing lessons from countries like Rwanda and Kenya, where non-kinetic strategies have mitigated violence and fostered national reconciliation, Honorable Abbas called for dialogue, economic empowerment and community engagement as key elements of sustainable security framework. He further pointed to programs such as Operation Safe Corridor, which rehabilitates and reintegrates former insurgents, as evidence that alternative approaches can yield positive results, highlighting the financial burden of Nigeria's security challenges. He said over the past 2 decades, trillions of naira have been spent on military operations, with 3.25 trillion naira, 12% of 2024 national budget allocated to defense and security alone. While acknowledging the necessity of these expenditures, the Speaker argued for a more cost-effective approach, investing in education, healthcare, and infrastructure to address socio-economic conditions that fuel unrest. According to the Speaker, Abbas, one non-kinetic measure that has already shown promise in Nigeria is community policing, enabled by the Police Act of 2020, describing this as a key strategy in bridging the gap between law enforcement. He said community policing will help foster safer neighborhoods where residents actively participate in securing their environment. Other stakeholders at the event said the non-kinetic insecurity in Nigeria.
Security challenges, as we know, remain a critical concern for our nation, and we must continually explore innovative and sustainable strategies to address them. Non-kinetic measures which focus on dialogue, community engagement, economic empowerment, and addressing the root causes of insecurity are essential components of this approach. I'm also
One of the most effective non-kinetic strategies is economic development. Poverty and unemployment are significant drivers of insecurity, as they create a fertile ground for extremist ideologies to take root. By promoting economic opportunities, particularly in vulnerable regions, alternatives to violence can be provided and the appeal of terrorist groups reduced. This includes investing in infrastructure, supporting small and medium-sized enterprises, and creating job opportunities for women and their youth.
In a landmark announcement, Abbas unveiled the creation of a standing committee on peace building and social cohesion in the House of Representatives. While tasking the committee to develop policies to promote peace and stability, the Speaker said the committee will be the first of its kind in Nigeria and possibly Africa. House of Representatives on Tuesday urged the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, and the Chief of Army Staff, General Olufemi Oluyede, to order the immediate release of a Nasarawa community leader, Bello Badejo, by officers of the 177th Battalion of the Nigerian Army. The resolution of the House followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by the member representing Darazu Ganjuwa Federal Constituency, Bauchi State, Mr. Manshaw Soro. Rallying his colleagues to support the cause, Soro noted that the laws of the Federation restricted the operation of the Nigerian military to protecting the external and territorial integrity of Nigeria and acting in aid of the civil authorities. The Bauchi lawmaker also lamented that 1 week after the arrest, Badejo is yet to be arraigned before a competent court of jurisdiction as required by the extant laws of the land. Following the overwhelming support for the bill, the House called on the Chief of Defense Staff and the Chief of Army Staff to order the immediate release of Badejo from unlawful detention and to also apologize to him for infringing on his constitutionally guaranteed fundamental human right. It has also condemned the attempts by the officers of the 177 Battalion to take over the work of the Nigerian police and the courts in resolving disputes between citizens. Finally, the House resolved to invite the CDS, COAS and the commanding officer of the 177 Battalion to appear before its committees on Army, Human Rights and Justice on Thursday, December 20th, 2024 at 3 p.m. to explain why officers under their command violated the relevant provisions of the Nigerian Constitution. House of Representatives has confirmed its readiness to receive President Bola Tinubu for presentation of the 2025 budget estimates. The presentation, initially scheduled for Tuesday, December 17, 2024, has been postponed by 24 hours and will now take place on Wednesday, December 18, 2024. The decision made in the display of unity followed a motion moved by the House leader and seconded by the minority leader in accordance with Order 6 rule of the House Standing Orders, authorizing the President to present the 2025 appropriation bill. The adjustment comes after Senate President Godswill Akpabio had earlier announced that the President would address a joint session of the National Assembly on Tuesday, December 17, 2024, before schedule was revised. The House of Representatives has summoned the Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff and the commanding officer of the 177 Battalion to appear before its committees on Army, Human Rights and Justice on Thursday, 20th December 2024, to explain the unconstitutional arrest of community leader Alhaji Bello Badejo in Nasarawa State. The House also called for the immediate release of Bello Badejo on an apology for violating his rights and urged adherence to constitutional provisions. It's the non-delivery of 2,000 tractors and 100 combined harvesters under the Presidential Food Security Initiative and Renewed Hope Agricultural Mechanization Drive. Honorable Saba Ahmed Adam noted that despite agreements signed in 2023 between the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, John Deere Tractors and Aftrade DMCC, no tractors or equipment have been delivered. He emphasized that this failure has hindered Nigeria's food production goals, wasted 2 farming seasons, and undermined the renewed hope agenda on food security. In about less than 10 to the commencement of festive seasons, General Officer Commanding and Force Commander of Joint Task Force JTF, Southeast Operation Udoka, Major General Hassan Taiwo Dada has declared the South is safe for the festive seasons, dismissing fears of sit-at-home order, promising robust security measures to protect lives and properties. Speaking with the defense correspondent from the Defense Headquarters, Abuja, Major General Dada said that the sit-at-home order practice is now a thing of the past. In highlighting the military's achievements, Major General Dada revealed that Operation Udoka had effectively combined kinetic and non-kinetic strategies to restore peace in the region and recover refineries.
But just to add that we are at home with the army here, and that the FOB has been a friendly base that has done so much to help us contain a complex security situation of a heterogeneous local government like our own.
Into forests, and from there they exploit people living around. And so what we do, especially when we discover that such people are from our area, we call meetings. We know, that's why community policing is also very important. Why this is important? Everybody knows everyone else within the community. So when you know those who are within your own area, that are people who are misbehaving or who are aberrant, you call them out. So Invariably, what is also important is advocacy. Talk to the people, let them know what government is all about.
For long, for them to be here for about 4 or 5 years or thereabout now. But for me, I have been in this throne for 35 years. So I am like here, throughout here, I'm the oldest person in the throne. And of course, in the age, I was a military officer myself. So I retired as an army officer. And I know that the security then wasn't very much controlled. But now, the presence of FOB, it has become better.
Oh, yes, they are. They are not receptive. The youths are okay. They respect themselves. They are not doing otherwise. They are abiding by the rules. For now, we are okay. Yeah.
A tour to the 14th Brigade Command and other FOB corroborated the assertions and claims of the GOC that the southeast region is peaceful as visit to axis of Okigwe and its environs witnessed the normal businesses. Has brought peace unlike some years ago.
Now, what we have is more of the attitude of the people. A lot of people have seen Satan as an extension of the wicked. I sat there on Mondays. The government officials or people that are not only they are working, you sit at home at the third day of the weekend. Then you go, you see vehicles owners, people go to school. On Mondays, that's the way it is. But it's a double-edged thing. We've been able to. When people are suffering, a lot of people have now come to the realization that they are deceived. And unfortunately, it's actually the locals or the people that are actually suffering. That the DG, which was a graduate of we did the community hospital, we did the water project. These are ways of bringing back to the communities. When we had urban conference here in Owerri, so many other projects.
Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission has listed assets recovered by the Anti-Graft Agency in the past year. ICPC Chairman Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu made this known in Abuja on Tuesday during the end-of-the-year engagement at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. According to him, the Commission has recovered 29.700 billion naira in cash, domiciled in ICPC recovery accounts. Adding to that, he said that 10.986 billion naira in value-added tax has been recovered and remitted to the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS. He went on to reveal that $966.983 in foreign currency has now been secured in the ICPC CBN account balance brought forward. Aliyu said the Commission had just completed the tracking of 1,500 projects valued at 610 billion nationwide under SEPTI Phase 7. On petition handling investigation and prosecution, he said the Commission processed 851 petitions with 342 assigned for investigation, 95 fully investigated, 72 cases filed in court, and 16 convictions secured. Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has disclosed that electricity subsidies payable by the federal government for the month of December has risen by 2.76% to 199.64 billion naira from 194.26 billion incurred in November. The Commission, in its December 2024 multi-year tariff order posted on its website, retained electricity tariff across all customer categories. While Band A customers continued to pay 209, allowed tariffs for customers in Bands B to billion up from November, and subsidized for consumers under Abuja Disco, while consumers under Ikeja Electric would enjoy electricity subsidies of 26.68 billion naira from the government. NERC explained that the rise in exchange rate, which it pegged at 1,687.45 naira to the dollar, increases in inflation to 33.9%, and changes in available generation capacity necessitated to the minor review. Tariffs shall remain in force subject to monthly adjustment of pass-through indices, including inflation rates, and Nigerian dollar exchange rate, and gas-to-power prices. Analyst has alleged that lots of secret dealings surround the activities of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Atlantic Blowout, Chairman of Rivers State Civil Society NEFA Jodril says NNPCL petrol price is higher than private refinery like Dangote Refinery.
Import of its beginning of production is that price will crash. But the NNPCL, as we speak today, is selling even far and above a private refinery called the Nigerian economy, and of course, particularly the petroleum sector is concerned. But put another way, NNPCL is not supposed to be a private company. But the private company somehow is not acting like the police over fellow or co-private company. In fact, it's more like it is still a state-owned company. The president decides to become the GMD of the NNPCL. For practically everything. Okay, the way Amanet was privatized, what's Nigerians' role in it? Who are the people who bought it? You don't need to be an economist. Simple logic tells you that privatization means private control. Right? So who are the private players? Who bought it? Where is the board? Where is the company? So a lot of secrecy, around whatever.
Explaining further, Mr. George will emphasize that the federal government should...
And activities around the industry. You didn't carry such persons. You just carry all. So a whole lot of this is what is the result of what you are getting. What is NNPC doing? What is NNPCL? Is it a private partnership? What is it? Maybe it is when we resolve that, we will not get to the next stage. If it is a private company or a public company or a partnership, what role is each party playing? Both the private side, the public side. Maybe it is that for us today. It is a failure. It is nothing different from the...
Recall that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited on Monday pointed out that the restreaming of the 60,000 barrels per day Port Harcourt refinery marked a significant turning point in Nigeria's quest to attain energy sufficiency and security. World Bank is set to decide on 3 major loan projects for Nigeria in 2025, totaling $1.65 billion as part of efforts to address critical developmental challenges in the country. The loans currently in the pipeline will focus on internally displaced persons, education, and nutrition enhancement. According to information obtained from the World Bank's website, the loans are designed to support Nigeria's social and economic recovery, particularly in vulnerable sectors requiring urgent intervention. The first project, titled Solutions for the Internally Displaced and Host Communities Project, has a commitment amount of $300 million and is scheduled for approval on April 8, 2025. The project, which remains at the concept review stage, seeks to provide sustainable solutions for internally displaced persons and their host communities, addressing their social and economic challenges. The second project, Hope for Quality Basic Education for All, is expected to receive $553 million. The news on Atlantic Television Network. And up next is International Tidbits. Negotiations between Israel and Hamas for Phase 1, release of civilian hostages and women soldiers within 45 days, coupled with an Israeli withdrawal from Gaza city centers, the coastal road, and the Egypt border area. Phase 2, remaining hostages freed and Israeli forces completely withdrawn. Phase 3, a formal end to hostilities of the 96 hostages believed to be held in Gaza. Israel estimates that 62 are still alive. This plan aligns with an earlier framework outlined by U.S. President Joe Biden in May, but negotiators stressed that significant details remain unresolved. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday tabled a parliamentary bill to synchronize election officials traveled by foot, road, trains, helicopters, boats, and occasionally camels and elephants to set up polling stations in remote locations. Currently voting for state assemblies, some with populations themselves bigger than most nations in the world, are staggered from the national vote. India's just with state assemblies. Main opposition party Congress said on Tuesday it firmly, totally, comprehensively rejects the bill, with spokesperson Jairam Ramesh calling it unconstitutional. Here now is Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League. His closest challenges included Ivory Coast seeing the AFCON final, Guinea's Sekou Guirassy, South African move clear of Ivory Coast with 7th Player of the Year award, with previous winners being Rashidi Yekini in 1993, Emmanuel Amuneke in 1994, Nwankwo Kanu 1996 and 1999, Victor Ikpeba 1997 and Osimhen 2023. Only Cameroon with 11 titles have more. Meanwhile, Nnadoze's exceptional year was rewarded with a second consecutive Goalkeeper of the Year award, though she missed out on the Women's Player of the Year prize to Zambian captain Barbara Banda, who ended Asisat Oshoala's reign after the Nigerian won a record 6th title last year. National Sports Commission has congratulated Côte d'Ivoire will now host the 2025 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations. The competition was initially scheduled to be staged in South Africa. The Confederation of African Football announced Côte d'Ivoire as the new host at the end of its executive committee meeting in Marrakech, Morocco. The companies that will compete at the competition. The semi-finalists at the Under-20 Chile. Chelsea forward Mikhailo Modric has failed a doping test, the Premier League club said on Tuesday. As reports stated, the Ukraine international has been provisionally suspended. The Blues said they were notified by the Football Association of an adverse finding in a urine sample provided by the 23-year-old winger. Modric issued a statement via his Instagram account that this has come as a complete shock, as he never knowingly used any banned substances or broken any rules, and that he is working closely with his team to investigate how this could have happened. Athletes are now warned on the UK anti-doping website that they face a ban of 4 years if it is found a banned substance was taken intentionally. If the violation involved a specified substance or contaminated product, and the athletes can demonstrate that they had no significant fault, ineligibility may range from 2 years to a reprimand, and depending on the level of fault. Mudryk has made 15 appearances for Chelsea this season and last played in a 2.2-0 win at German side in the Conference League on November 20th, in which he scored his third goal of the season. He has not featured in the past 5 matches in all competitions. Mudryk joined Chelsea for a reported 88.5 euros, which is 112 million naira from Donetsk in January 2023. And now entertainment news. Afrobeat star Divine Ukubo, aka Rima, has made history in Norway after becoming the first African to achieve platinum status in the country. His song Calm Down achieved the feat as it has also recently surpassed 1 billion views on YouTube. Sharing the news on Tuesday, December 17th, album talks to X and wrote, Rima's Calm Down featuring Selena Gomez has now been certified platinum in Norway. Rima becomes the first African artist to receive a certification in the country. Nigerian singer Tiwa Savage has said there's a divine reason for the delay in her career breakthrough. In a recent podcast, the 44-year-old music star strongly expressed her belief that God delayed her success for a purpose. According to her, God delayed her success to encourage other women who are less successful at an early age. And that's the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at the major stories. Rivers Assembly commends Tinubu for revitalizing Port Harcourt refinery. Governor Okwebolo dissolves Edo Electoral Commission. Others and Senate moves to ban use of